Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? So I just kind of want to get this off my chest. I want to give you guys just a short little disclaimer that this is a rant slightly. I'm not going to have too much clips up in this. I'm just going to give you guys my opinion. For those of you that care about my opinion, this is it. For you guys that don't care about my opinion, you guys could keep pushing, but I'm just going to let you guys know my opinion on this entire situation with Monique and her son. And I feel like I just have to get this off of my chest, right? So first and foremost, I hear a lot of people talking and kind of discussing how Monique is wrong, her son's right for feeling the feelings that he feels, and Monique should have handled it better and all of that, right? The first thing I would like to say is first and foremost, where is her ex-husband? His father, where is he in these conversations about Monique's mothering and Monique's, being a nurturer? There's been a lot of conversations being pushed about Monique being the leader, the person who held down, the household financially. And she was the one just taking care of everybody financially. She had to go to work. She paid all the bills. She made sure he had everything that he needed financially. However, she wasn't nurturing. She wasn't supportive. She wasn't, being at, the mother that he wanted, by his, definition of what he wanted as a mother. So I kind of want to know, where was the father in the providing place? You know what I'm saying? If she's going to be, you want her to be the mother that you want, she didn't tuck you in. She didn't give you the things that you needed for your mother to give you. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. Where is your father? How come he wasn't being the provider? How come he wasn't being the protector? How come he wasn't going to work, doing all of these things so that Monique would not feel as though she had to do these things? Where was he? And are we just not addressing the father? We just going to put it all on the mom because she was a single parent raising him? When Monique brought up as to how, the father and her had a great relationship with Sydney, he dismissed it. He said, listen, Sydney, her son dismissed it, said, hey, Sydney does not need to address him because Sydney is the daddy. And, it's Monique's daddy. And, his dad, that Sydney's not his dad. Okay, then that's fine. Because he was saying, Sydney is Monique, that's your daddy. This is not my father's daddy, so he needs to stop bringing up my father. No, let's bring up your father. Let's talk about your father. Because I think that as a unit, they failed, and collectively they failed, If Monique felt comfortable in her feminine energy, or she felt secure as a woman, and she felt like everything was being taken care of, the bills were being paid, everything, I think that would leave room for her to be able to be the mother that he felt as though that he desired. Monique was poor growing up, not dirt poor, because she had both of her family there. They made some sort of income, but she goes over and over as to how her mother was money hungry, and they did not have certain things that she felt as like she should have had. So she worked hard. She pushed, because one, she wanted fame, and because she wanted to secure, financial, right? So the way I see it is, where is the father in the financial conversation? Because a lot of people make light to how she, pays for Sydney and financially supports Sydney and takes care of him. Well, if she's doing it with this husband, wasn't she doing it with the ex-husband? So then when you have these conversations about a nurturer or somebody that's supposed to give you these things, I feel like there has to be balance, right? A man has to be manning in order for a woman to woman the right way, right? The way that you deserve, the way you feel as though you need a mother. You wanted a mother, a mother that you wasn't provided. Okay, then where was your father to be the man, so that way she, has room to be the mother? I see and I hear, y'all excuse the background, but I hear a lot of conversations, a lot of back and forth about what Monique should not have been. And the thing is, a lot of the times, and I'm not making any excuses for it, but a lot of the times the black woman has to be everything. Oh yeah, she has to be the nurturer. Oh yeah, she has to be the provider. Oh yeah, she has to wear the cape and take all the blame and do. Where's the father? Huh? Where's the man that climbed on top of her and ejaculated to create this lovely baby boy? Huh? This boy that is so articulate and he talks so nicely and everything. Oh my God. Where is the father? Let's not just put Monique, to the fire. Let's not just put her foot to the fire and say, oh, it's all her fault. She should have been. No, they should have been. If you felt like, because in most cases, we always see the man playing this role, the man who had to work and forget about his kids. In this role, you see a woman doing it, right? So where is the man providing the security financially so then she could afford to be a mother? Because you can't tell me this man was manning and taking care of everything financially, and then Monique was also trying to take. No, she's not going to be financially taking care of everything and being the provider and the protector if she had a man to be that for her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about what Monique wasn't. What was she? Let's talk about what she was, what she offered, because a sense of security. He talks about, oh, my mom gave me $10,000. My mom was able to put money aside for me so that when I got grown, even though it was a weird back and forth about it, but she had money aside to which I blew over and spent all. And your mother gave you a trust fund, for lack of a better word. You have money, so that when you got grown, you could do whatever it is, to which a lot of black kids, black and brown children do not have. So you had that because of your mother. Where was your father? What did he provide? Huh? Because if the mother was playing the father role, what was the father doing? You didn't get that nurture from your father? Because all of this conversation about inclusiveness, oh, men and women, and we don't believe in gender roles. So if Monique was taking on, the work hard, why isn't it that her man wasn't picking up the slack to where she wasn't, or the father wasn't? Because the way I see it, they don't have to be married for him to do what he's supposed to do about his child. Why is the burden completely on Monique? Why is she getting all the burnt out? Why is it, oh, Monique, you are wrong. You. Where was his father? Where was his father when she was providing financial and making it, set so he can be able to, live and, giving him all this money, working her butt off, fighting the powers that be at Hollywood? Where was the father? Where was he? What did he do? Please, because I don't like that. Men have been doing this for centuries, like slacking on their responsibilities of being a father. We hear it all the time, to where I put my career first. Because women, this is the price of putting your career first. When you put yourself first, you put your career first, the world, society blames you for not being the woman that you should have been to the children, right? You can't put your career first. You have to put everything to the side for your children. This is what it looks like. And then the fact that the man there was no conversation about the father. I would have understood it more if he said, hey, my mom and my father, it was all what my mom didn't do. Well, mommy, and too much and too often we hear about what the mother did not do. The mother, my mom didn't tuck me in. My mom didn't, but my mom was there financially. My mom gave me, I'm sure even if she wasn't the mother or the, giving you all the nurture or whatever, she made it so you can go to the best of schools. You can eat the best of foods. You can do all of these different things. So for the other pieces that she wasn't able to step in, where was your father? Because it takes two people to fucking create a baby. Excuse me. It takes two people to have children. So then for what she wasn't providing, where was the father? Where was he? Let's talk about it. Where was he? Because it's not fair that all of the burden just goes onto the mom. Oh, the mom didn't do. But she wasn't completely by herself. She had a partner. So what did they not do? Huh? How did they fail you? Because we can't put Monique. It takes two people to create a child. So we can't say it was just one person that did wrong. And we would just beat up on Monique and blame Monique for being such a horrible mother. To the pieces that where she did not fulfill, where was your father? When she was on the roll and she was doing shows and she was taking trips and she was doing all of this, comedy tours and being Nikki Parker, she was doing where was your father? Where was your father? Or do we not expect anything from him? Is it just, how it is in life? Like a man is not supposed to do nothing. No, a man's not supposed to do nothing. I hate that. I hate the fact that people are just blaming Monique and it's just one-sided Monique. It's Monique did what she could. And I'm sorry that she couldn't be everything. A lot of the time, society and the whole world expect black women to just be everything. And I'm tired of that shit. She had to go and be this top provider so you can have the house that you want to give you everything, and doing it completely by herself because her and your father got a divorce. And you don't feel no pity for this woman that raised you by herself. Yeah, it was aunties. Yeah, it was cousins. Yeah, it was different people that stepped in when she had, like, you know what I'm saying? And Monique, in my opinion, was very hard on herself, saying that I had no desire to be a mom, as though she was just at the club partying. No, you were raising your child. Like, you went in, and as black women, we are so hard on ourselves. When the children start blaming us and say, you did this, you did this, you did this, we turn back and we're like, yeah, I did. I wasn't there to do this. I had no desire to be a mom. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. No, you were out here creating generational wealth for your children, security for your children. I wish I could ask my mama for $10,000 right now to buy a car. What? I wish I could. And it's so unfortunate that people don't, I don't know. I almost want to be like my parents. At least how I see my parents. This is just a opinionated video. I see my parents and I be like, my parents lived a whole life before me. They had their own struggles, their own childhood trauma, their own effed up shit that happened to them. And at least my parents were never on drugs. My parents never did. There's a lot of fucked up things that a lot of people that I know, parents who were being R and amongst other things that had happened to them. My parents did the best with what they had. And I try to understand where they're coming from. Nobody gives their parents or the people that raised them that grace. Monique had to be everything. She just had to. She had to be the provider, the nurturer, the protector. No. And then the sad part for me was how he did not understand how he could potentially be affecting his mother's livelihood. He did not care. It was, she wasn't there to nurture me. She wasn't there for me. She didn't give me the love. She didn't do all of these things. She didn't, but she gave it to her other kids. She gave it to her other children. She was this to them. She was that to them. And my thing is, why was your father not there to pick up where she left off? Why? Huh? Or do we, because it's all this energy towards Monique and none towards the father. I can even understand or respect him having a problem with them as a unit, but he forgives the father, lets the father off easy, but just mad at the mom. She says, my mom failed me. My mom failed me. My mom failed me. Are you not able to go to the best of schools? Are you not able to, like, you don't have food on your plate? You're not being, like, you wasn't taken care of. At least she did something. In my opinion, I know a lot of people are not going to like the fact that I'm saying this, but she could have not done anything and just been a deadbeat mom. At least she was going to work. At least she was doing things. And that's why she's like, didn't give you the things that you felt as though you needed or you deserved. But what was your father doing? Because Monique was the breadwinner. Hell, if you go back to some of her comedy shows or comedy skits, she talks about how she had to give your father so much in alimony because she made so much money. She had to do all of that and still be able to provide for you. And for you to say, oh, my mother put money up for me as if it was an easy thing. No. Oh my God. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm like, what? The fact that this woman was even able to put money up for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, it's a 50-50 situation, okay? If she was the breadwinner, she had to break her back for you guys to have the things that you need for it to be secure. We hear Taraji talk about a security for the children so that don't nobody hurt you guys and you guys live to the place where y'all need to live, or protection and all of these things that she had to provide security for you all. Where was the father to give you the nurture? It takes we don't believe in gender roles, right? It's a 50-50 situation. Where was the other person to meet her halfway to help her in raising you? Come on now, but we can't talk about the father. We have to put all of the bulk of the blame on Monique, and that I don't agree with. I do not agree with. Unpopular opinion, Monique wasn't the only one wrong, in my opinion. For real. It's all this blame towards now she's it's Sydney's fault and Sydney this and Sydney that and all of that. I think it's kind of weird that the whole pop thing was weird to me with the whole Sydney situation, but I'm just referring to him speaking about how Monique was not giving him, or she wasn't like the mother that he needed. It feels as though that he's putting bulk of the blame on Monique as to why, he wasn't getting the things that he needed, growing up, or in any conversations. I hear no conversations about the male in his life, the protector, the father in the life. It's all what Monique didn't do. Yes, she was a protector and a provider, but she wasn't a nurturer. It just gave me, why does a black woman have to be everything? In my opinion, why does she have to be everything? She got to walk on water. What's going on? Why is there no grace in this situation? I'm not saying she's completely right, but God damn it, she's not all the way wrong. Okay? I think that she shares this blame with the father. It takes two to fuck up a child. It takes two. Okay, and the fact that he's so articulate and he's able to be a wonderful father to his child, it says that, oh, Monique didn't completely fuck up. And he says, well, she credits all these other people for being more of a mother to me and da 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 da. And if Monique didn't grant you certain things, certain luxuries that you like, oh, it's money. Money is nothing. No, money is something, because we wouldn't be going to work. We wouldn't be busting our ass to get it if it was nothing, in my opinion. Money is something. Okay, so ask a poor person what money would mean to them right now. Money is something. Okay, it may not be the desired thing that you want, but money is something. And I feel as though it takes two people. If we're not going by gender roles, for what Monique couldn't do, your father should have picked up. It should have been a 50-50 situation. But all of the blame goes on Monique, and it's Monique fault this and it's Monique fault that. We just blame everything on Monique. But you speak about how she left money aside for you. She gave you this, and financially, she was there for you. She was playing more of the male role in your life. Then okay, where was your father to provide what she couldn't provide or what she wasn't providing? Because it takes two people to fucking create a baby, and it takes two people to take care of their child. I don't think all of the blame needs to go on Monique. And I feel like him, as a grown man and a grown adult, there has to be some comprehension and some understanding on what your parents did and why they did what they did. And, try to understand or gain some. I'm not saying that you have to fully forgive, but I don't accept or I don't understand why you blame one parent more than the other. When we having conversations about what wasn't provided to you, include your father in that. Include him, because it takes two people to create a baby, in my opinion. And another thing I would like to add is how there's a separation. This whole Lee Daniels thing, and let this not be the thing that decides your character or decides who Monique is, because one doesn't have nothing to do with the other. Oh, this is for the people that's all like, oh, this changed my perspective on Monique. I think differently about her. It makes me go back to the whole situation with Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey and Lionsgate, and just you just think differently about how Monique handled it. Monique is this, Monique is that. It's all this difference of an opinion just because of a whole nother situation that doesn't, they have nothing to do with the other. Nothing. One situation is and another situation is. It's two different perspectives, and we getting half stories because it takes, literally, there's three sides of the story. We don't know the whole story. We're not going to know. There's the whole father piece that's not being included. We're just excluding the father and putting all the blame on Monique. And for me, I don't agree with that. This is just my opinion. This is my perspective on it. Two people created a baby, so we need to put two people to the fire. It shouldn't just be Monique, and Monique should not be expected to be the provider and the protector and everything, and including nurture and on all of these things. That's just my opinion, y'all. Tell me if y'all have a difference of opinion. Tell me if you don't agree, or if you do agree. Let me know in the comments, y'all. I love y'all. Bye-bye.
You gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together and get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay.
If it's not about money, then how come you didn't refuse the help? Why did you say, oh, okay? You should have been like, no, Mom, I want your love. I don't want money.
You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because this is, an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you, but because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. But let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000. You never brought that account to my attention. You claim it was because you forgot that you even set it up in the first place, which validates my original point. Who forgets that they invested $45,000 into a child that at that time is the only child? When I was homeless and I called you to help me figure out how to access the account, you said, Shalon, I don't even know what you're talking about, and if I did, why do you think I would help you? After finding out from the Georgia Department of Revenue that they had been sending me mail to 3 separate Georgia addresses, all of which I lived at with you at some point or another. For the life of me, I can't grasp how those letters managed to slip by so many people at 3 different locations. I did, however, eventually get access to the money and the brokerage account that you had set up for me with Morgan Stanley. To be fair, what you put together for me was amazing, especially had I let it sit for a year or two, which made it bittersweet that you wouldn't have wanted to help or even educate me on how to manage what I had. My blowing through that money is all on me.